What's up, rock stars? We have what hopefully will be a quick video on modeling expressions using algebra tiles. But before we do that, you might have a little kind of hard to see right now, so I'm going to tell you what frogs do when they want to be able to see better. They turn on their frog lights. It's like fog lights. If you're in a very foggy drive, someone may button and their fog lights come on. Well, frogs have frog lights. Okay, so simple target today, we're going to learn how to model algebraic expressions that have one variable, and we're going to use algebra tiles. And if you've watched any of my videos before, we have used algebra tiles before. Check it out. So quick review. Expressions. We say this word expressions. What is it? Well, it's made up of a couple possible things. It can have variables, which are letters, operators, which are our orders of operation, our division, our multiplication, our addition, and it can have numbers, like so. So expressions have those things. So, but what it does not have is an equal sign. There's no equal sign in this expression. Okay. Now, there may be an expression, there may be an equal sign involved somewhere, but the expression itself is the part that doesn't include the equal sign. All right, so let's get some examples. 6 plus x, that's an expression. 4x minus 12, that's an expression. And 2x plus 13, yep, that's an expression. All right, so let's model them. All right, we use algebra tiles to model expressions. We've used them again, like several different videos that we've done. So go check them out. We use squares and rectangle blocks. Okay, so the squares represent both positive and negative numbers, like so. For every open square, that's 1. For every filled in square, that's a negative 1. And when we show variables, we use rectangles. For every open rectangle, it's a positive variable, and for every negative variable, it's a filled in rectangle. All right, so let's talk expressions. Well, we always start with a key, which is what I just showed you, okay? So when you're doing the worksheet, you're doing that test, you're doing the quiz, you're doing the SAT, you're hanging out with a bunch of people just wanting to do some cool modeling of algebra expressions, you need to know what they stand for. And sometimes there'll be colors, but for us right now, this is our key, okay? So let's try one. We use the key to model our expressions. Here's our key, right? We just want to model what x plus 3 equals. Well, what do we do? Well, we start with one positive x, because it's x plus 3. That's a positive x. So what do? We put a positive rectangle that represents the x. And then we see that we have a positive 3. So what do? We add 3 positive squares, and those are all open up. That's it. How easy was that? Notice that I didn't put a plus or minus sign anywhere. You do not do that. You just put the rectangles and the squares to show what you're modeling. I have a positive x, and I have a positive 3. So I have a rectangle that's open, and I have 3 squares that are open. Let's try another one. X minus 3. Well, it starts the same way, right? Because it still has that positive x, and here it comes. But we have a negative 3, which means, or minus 3, which means we have 3 negative squares. So we have 3 filled in squares. Can't be that easy, Tal, is it? Yeah, it is. Now here's where people get tricked up. So pay attention, for the love of Pete and all of his friends. Now I have negative 3x minus 3. Okay, so how are we going to model that? Let me tell you what happens. A lot of kids see this negative 3, so they go over and they put in 3 black squares to show the negative 3 at the beginning of negative 3x. So they see this 3, this negative 3, and they start putting the squares down. It's not telling us. That negative 3 is connected to the x. And what it's telling us is we have a negative 3 x's. So we have 3 negative x's. So let's put 3 of those bad boys up there. And then we're going to subtract 3, which means a negative 3. So we put 3 negative squares up. Y'all, it's that simple. I told you this was going to be brief. I told you it's going to be awesome. What kind of dog cries the most? A chihuahua. With fringe level 9, I would say 13.